everybody. Today we are going to be talking about washing and drying dishes. This is one of my favorite chores. I like to do it. Maybe you like to do it. Maybe it's your favorite as well. But we're going to go over how we do it. So, starting off, I've got a sink of soapy water here. It is warm. It's not like too hot that I can't put my fingers in, but it's hot enough that it's going to get clean and lots of soapy bubbles. And I've got a cloth that I'm going to use to wash my dishes, and then I'm going to put them in my drying rack, which is here. You can't quite see it, but we'll get to that part after. So starting with washing. So I've got a couple of different dishes here. We're going to start with this mug. You can see it's a little bit dirty. I'm going to put it in the sink, and then I'm going to wipe all around the outside. Especially I want to get where people put their mouth, so right around the top, and then the inside too, because that's where whatever was in there, coffee for this morning, was. So nice and clean, and then I'm just going to rinse it with a little bit of water. Okay, all clean. There it goes. Now I've got a glass. I want to be careful with glass because this can break. So I'm just going to put it gently in, get it all soapy. And same thing, I'm going to wash inside and pay special attention to where people put their mouth, going all the way around where you put your mouth. Quick rinse, done. Okay, now I've got a fork. So I'm going to get the fork wet. Again, I'm going to particularly clean where people put their mouth. So making sure that gets nice and clean, and then also doing the handle because why not? Gets dirty too. Okay, now I've got, do you recognize this? A knife. So just like we learned in our knife safety, I've left it to the side. It wasn't in my soapy dishes. So I'm going to put it in, and I'm going to hold the handle. And here's the blade. This side is the blade where it's sharp. So I'm going to go from the flat side where it's not sharp and just swipe 1, 2, depends how many times, how dirty your knife is. That should be good. And then I'm going to do the handle. And it's all clean. Put that over there. All right, another fork. Do that one quick. Now I've got a plate. So I'm gonna put my plate in and make sure I get the whole surface because there was food on here. Clean the whole thing. And I'm also gonna do the back, because sometimes the back gets dirty. And there we go. And I had already rinsed these dishes before I started washing. So I rinsed them all with some water so that they weren't too dirty. And you want to start with the dishes that are the cleanest. So that's why so far none of these dishes have been that dirty. So now I have a little Tupperware jar. Again, it's glass, so I'm going to be careful. I want to go all the way inside, all the way outside. Quick rinse. Done. Now I got a bigger Tupperware. You can see I've already rinsed it. I'm going to get it nice and wet. And then I'm just going to go all along the side, all along this side, all along this side, and then back and forth on the bottom. And I'm also going to do the outside, all sides. There we go. Give it a rinse. Nice and clean. Okay. A cutting board. So cutting board, get it all wet and soapy, and then I'm just going to go back and forth, up and down on each side. Even though I only cut on one side and I want to really clean that side, but I'm also going to do both sides. Okay, that's looking good. Rinse, get the soapy water off. Okay, now I've got a lid here, and lids, they can get dirty in there. So I'm just gonna flip it out one side, clean all in there, and then I'm gonna flip and do the other side. Make sure I get in the nooks and crannies there, all the way around, nice and clean. Rinse. Okay, now this is getting a little dirtier. I've got a spatula here. So I'm just going to make sure to focus on cleaning the part where the food touched, because that's the really dirty part. And you might have to really scrub. This one's a little bit caked on. So if it's not coming off, you might have a sponge or a different cleaning thing. I have one of these things. So I might just use that to really scrub away the food that's stuck on there. It is really stuck on. But I don't want to give up because I don't want to put a dirty spatula back. So scrub, scrub, scrub. There we go, now it's off. Okay, and then I'm going to do the handle as well, because that's important. Give it a rinse. There we go. Okay, last item here. I've got this dirty pan, so I saved it for last because it's the dirtiest. And my water's going to get all dirty. So I just put the whole pan in, and I'm going to do all the way around the sides of the pan. And then also get the middle of the pan where the food was. Give it a little rinse in the soapy water. And I'm going to do the outside because sometimes the food comes over the side of the pan. So you want to make sure you also get the outside of the pan. You don't have to worry about the handle so much, but it's good to get it clean as well. Give it a rinse. And there we go. I have washed all the dishes. So now, can you guess what it's time for? Time to dry. So I'm going to get a dishcloth and just go all over the whole side. So I'm getting the handle and the top all dry, and now I can put it away. Here's our other spatula. It's all dry. I can put it away. Cutting board. I'm going to do both sides. Give it a good rub. All good. Put it away. Oh, my knife. So again, I've got to be careful. There's the sharp blade part. So I'm going to go from the other side and just dry it like that. Get the handle dry. There we go. My pan, I'm going to go around the outside and then around the inside a couple times to make sure I get it nice and dry. Look, see if there's any spots. There's a couple water drops there. Plate. Make sure you do both sides because you don't want to put away a wet bottom. My fork, I'm going to do it from the handle and then up. Put that with the forks. And my mug around the outside and then inside as well. All clean, all dry. Okay, and I would just keep drying everything, doing the outside and the inside, and there you go. I have washed and cleaned my dishes. I hope you guys help out at home doing some washing and drying of your dishes. All right.